This tutorial will show you how to create your annotations for your chapter readings within MindTap, turn them into a PDF, and then submit that PDF to Blackboard. If you don't have a print to PDF option on your computer, you will want to use Google Chrome for your browser so that you have that PDF print option. Begin by opening the chapter that you will be reading within MindTap. You will be beginning with Chapter 1, but I am using Chapter 27 for this example because it is not part of your required annotations. Be sure to scroll down to the bottom of each page and flip the pages left to right to make sure you are reading all of the assigned work. As you read the chapter, identify information that is important, concepts that you want to remember, and thoughts that occur to you. Here is a topic that students often struggle with, in addition to some terminology that may not be familiar, so I want to remember this information. I cannot choose the image within the box, but I can annotate the important parts to help me remember it, or I can type some of the information into my annotation. I begin by highlighting some text, which is clicking and dragging the cursor before releasing it, to bring up the Highlight Text tool. I have the option of simply choosing a highlight color, which will show up in my notes for this chapter, but the quiz grades rely on analysis and synthesis within the annotations themselves. Simple highlighting is not going to count toward the quiz grade. To create an annotation, I want to choose Add Note from this list. Remember that each chapter should consist of 5 to 10 fully developed annotations showing what you are learning from the chapter. What does this information remind you of? What does it connect to? What questions does it bring to mind? We are looking for evidence of growth through critical thinking. After I have created a note, I can click it to edit it or delete it. When you are finished with your annotations, you will find the icon that looks like a piece of paper with a pencil on it. Clicking this icon will open the Study Hub app. In order to create the PDF with the annotations for this chapter, you will need to create a study guide specifically for this chapter. Use the chapter number or name as your title and connect it to the appropriate chapter by clicking the Select a Unit button. Find and select the chapter that you are annotating and choose to sync My Notes. You may also wish to include your highlights, but remember that you are not graded for those. Click the blue Add Unit to Guide and then click the green Create a Study Guide. You will now see this study guide listed under My Custom Study Guides. When you click on it, you will see the highlighted information in one section and your notes in another section. The chapter number and section will automatically show up along with your notes in the boxes and the associated text from the chapter underneath. If your study guide does not show 5 to 10 good notes here, go back to the chapter and continue annotating as you digest more information. When a study guide is open, you will see the print icon at the top. Clicking this icon will open your printer options. Here you can see what the PDF will look like. The student's name is at the top, along with the study guide title. The chapter number and name are also included, along with highlights and annotations. You want to make sure that you have a print to PDF option as one of your printing choices. This is where using Chrome as your browser comes in handy. You can also use one of the computers on campus in the C-Lab or the library when you get to this stage of the process because it should have the Adobe PDF as a print option. To see what printing options you have, click the Change button under Print Destination and select a PDF printer. When you click the Save button, be very aware of what location the file is being saved to. Different computers are set to different defaults. I like to keep all my work either on OneDrive or Dropbox so I can access it from multiple computers. Storing your information in the cloud is very helpful if your laptop gets sick or it dies or it gets crushed or it gets stolen. It is also helpful in providing you with quick access to your work if you forget to print something before coming to class. You can open it using a campus computer and print it out without having to go back to your dorm. I also suggest using a naming convention that is clear for each chapter instead of using the default MindTap Cengage Learning, so that the correct file is easier to find for uploading to Blackboard in the next step. Now that I have my file, I need to open the submission link within Blackboard. Within course content, find the appropriate week for the assignment. then scroll down to the quiz that matches this chapter. These submission icons look like a piece of paper with a pencil and a ruler on them. After carefully reading the associated text for this assignment and opening any attachments that may exist, this assignment doesn't have any attachments, click the title of the assignment. When the submission link is opened, I can see the due date, the point value, and the rubric. In our class, all submissions need to be attached. We will not be using the Write Submission option. Notice also that Mac users will need to make sure submissions are either in a Word.doc or .docx format or in PDF format. .pages files do not work. Using the Browse My Computer button, you will find the annotated chapter PDF that you just saved. Notice yours will say Chapter 1, although mine says Chapter 27. You will select it and you'll submit your work. You will then see confirmation that the file was uploaded, in addition to receiving an email confirmation. At this point, I would simply wait for my instructor to grade my work. And speaking of graded work, be sure to go back and view the feedback in the summative comments section, the feedback within the rubric, and also the feedback within the document itself. If you have any questions about any of these processes, be sure to ask your instructor well before the assignment's due date and time.